Howdy y'all, it's Ryan from Arty Music, your mom and pop guitar shop and lesson studio deep in the heart of Texas. That's where I'm at today, and I'm here to ask you guys some more questions. So last week we had a really great question video where we talked about USA guitars versus import guitars, and I shared my thoughts and opinion on that topic. And you guys and ladies shared your opinions, and I really appreciate that. The object of that video and of this video is to communicate with you guys and to get you to leave us a comment and some feedback and share your thoughts, because I like to hear what our viewers have to say on different topics. So today it's another one of those videos. I'm going to share something and then I'm going to ask you guys to share your experiences. Today's topic is all about guitars, of course, and specifically your first guitar. Now I find it pretty interesting what people's first guitars were, or what they started out on and what instrument they started with, and if it made it easy to keep going or if it made it hard or what. But I thought I would share my first guitar with you guys. This lovely piece of work was my first guitar. It's a lovely Harmony H201 made in Taiwan back in probably the early 80s. The bridge is pulling away. Can you see that? It's a toy, really. It's a piece of crap. Yeah, I mean, this is like a half size or whatever. Just a little crappy guitar. And this was my first guitar. I probably got this probably somewhere between 8 and 10 years old, I think. Now, I do have to say, I did not learn to play on this guitar, obviously, because it's barely playable. But I think it was more of a toy kind of a thing, but it was technically my first guitar. And I kept it for a long time, and then many years ago, I gave it to my nephew when he was about 8 or 9, because he wanted to play guitar. And so I just let him play this one just to goof around with, not to really play, but to just have some fun with. He might have been 7, I don't know. He's 19 now, so it's been a while, but he gave it back to me several years ago, because he's got, you know, real guitars now. And he gave it back, and I really appreciate it, because it actually was my, I guess technically my first guitar. So I keep it just to look at, really. Now, unfortunately, my first real guitar I do not have at the moment, and I really regret, of all the guitars I've ever gotten rid of, purchased, got rid of, this is the one I regret the most getting rid of. My first real guitar that I actually learned to play on and start my musical journey with on guitar was a Takamine GZ300 electric guitar. Yeah, it was made in Japan back in the 80s. It was actually a really good guitar. I did not appreciate it at the time. My parents, God bless them, got it for me. I was probably 12, 13-ish when I got it. And they bought it from a family friend used. It was still pretty expensive. I think it was like maybe 300 bucks or something, 250, 200. Back in like 88 maybe, 87, 88. Ish. And they bought it for me, and I got a little crappy PV amp, which I still have. I still have the amp, actually. I should have brought it, but it's at the house. I actually have the amp that I got with it. And it was a great guitar that I did not appreciate, because I wanted, you know, this was like the late 80s. I wanted something with flames on it, or polka dots, or like something Van Halen kind of ish, or a Kramer, or like a Floyd Rose. Like, you know, hair metal was the thing back then. And I wanted something kind of flamboyant like that, because I thought that was cool. That's what you saw on MTV. I didn't realize till much later that, you know, the nice wood grain finish, it was a very kind of Carlos Santana kind of vibe guitar. It played great. My dad played in the band with this young guy at the time. He was like 26, and he came over to the house once when I was older and played on it. He's like, man, this is a great guitar. And I was like, really? Okay. You know. So I didn't really appreciate it, and when I was probably 19, 18 years old maybe, I think, 17, 18, I traded it off at Guitar Center for, I think, an Ibanez or something. I traded it in. Of course, they didn't give me anything for it, you know, and I don't even have the Ibanez that I traded it for that I brought back 28 days later and returned and got an Epiphone Les Paul. I don't even have that Les Paul anymore. So the guitars that I traded that guitar in for, I don't even have. And now I wish I had kept that guitar, because it really did play really well. It was a great guitar. It's what I learned on, essentially. I felt like it's like a double cutaway Les Paul. It had, you know, a very Gibson-y kind of feel to it, and so that became really comfortable to me. And I really wish I would have kept that guitar. They're kind of rare, kind of hard to find. They don't necessarily worth a lot more money. I mean, you can find them now used for about $300 or $400. You know, they're hard to find, but they're out there. But, you know, Takamini's not really known for their electrics. They're more known for their acoustics. And they only made those electrics for a couple of years, and then they stopped making them and went just acoustics. So, big regret there. But that was my first kind of real guitar that I played on. I can say very happily, though, that I do have my second guitar, which was actually the first guitar that I bought with my own money when I was 16 years old. I had a job working at a grocery store, bagging groceries, stocking shelves, you know, mopping floors for minimum wage at like $3.75 or $4 an hour or something, I don't know. But I do have my first guitar that I bought with my own money. I already kind of learned to play the basics and things on that Takamine, but then I saved up my paychecks. I think my first week of work in the summertime at 16, I worked 66 hours, so I had a crap load of overtime on my first check. And I went out and I bought a Gibson Explorer. Yeah, not a bad first guitar to buy with your own money from your first job. So this is kind of my baby. This is my number one. It's a 1991 Gibson Explorer that I purchased in 1992 when I was 16. And I bought it used at a place in Dallas that I think might still be there, but maybe not there. Zoo Music in Dallas, one of the locations. I can't remember if it was in Garland or where it was, and I bought it for $500 with the hard shell case. The hard shell case had some busted latches, but I fixed them. So I got the whole thing for $500. It was marked at $800, so I don't know if the owner was just feeling sorry for this young dude who, you know, wanted a cool guitar. But I think I scored a killer deal on it. It didn't have a scratch on it. It was beautiful. Now it's got a lot of scratches and dings and play wear and all that sort of stuff now. But, you know, this is where I really kind of picked up and continued my music journey on this bad boy. And pretty much the Takamine went into its case and didn't really get touched that much anymore after the Explorer showed up. Yeah, mega Metallica fan back in the day, as you could probably imagine. Late 80s, early 90s, 91, 92, I was a big Metallica fan. Yeah, well, 92, that's when I bought it. So yeah, 91, 92, I was super into Metallica. I still am, but, you know, mega into them then. So I got an Explorer, and I like the fact that it's not a black or white one, because that would be super too much. Obviously, you like James Hetfield. But I really like the fact that it was sort of the cherry wine red kind of color, so that was different. You didn't really see that particular color a lot back then, and I love this thing. It's a great guitar, and I still play it from time to time, but it's got a lot of sentimental value. So this was not my first guitar, but the first one I bought for my own blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm glad I still have it, and it's pretty important to me. And so spent a lot of hours playing on this thing. Over the years, it kind of has gone to where it's more in its case a lot, and doesn't get played so much. But every now and then I like to pull it out and play it, and I'm reminded like how great it feels. Because when I pick up this guitar and play it, the way the neck feels and the scale length and everything just sort of feels like home to me, you know what I mean? I spent a lot of years playing on it, so it just feels comfortable. Love it. So I do have this one, and I'm glad I do. So those are my first guitars, and I thought that's a fun story to talk about. Your first guitar you bought with your own money, that kind of thing. But also, before we wrap this up, I thought I would talk about my most recent guitar. You know, anytime you get a new guitar, it obviously gets the most playtime, usually, if you have more than one. And then eventually that kind of go back into an even rotation. At least for me they do anyways. But right now I'm playing the heck out of this Schecter Hellraiser Extreme Solo 6. Flame maple fretboard, EMG pickups, neck through. So nice, so nice. I am liking this guitar a lot. You know, I've been kind of a Schecter fan since I worked at a big corporate music store back in the mid-2000s. Well, I was a fan before that because I liked a lot of the bands that used them back in the mid-late 90s, early 2000s. But killer guitar, so I've been playing this one a lot. This was a Christmas birthday present to myself from my wife and family and friends and all that. So yeah, so this is my newest one. It's made in Korea. Great guitar. It's a 2013 model, I think. Yeah, 2013. Crafted in South Korea. Great guitar. It's getting a lot of playtime at the moment. I really enjoy it. If you go check out any of our recent... Oh, that's on my personal channel. If you go check out any of my personal channel stuff where I'm doing a 1 riff a day challenge, there's quite a few of this bad boy being played. I'm really liking it. And talking about last week, we talked about USA guitars versus imports. You know, I've got 3 or 4 USAs, quite a few imports. And I've been playing this one a lot lately, and I really like it. So that's my most recent acquisition. I got this about a month ago. So I've only had it for about 4 or 5 weeks. So far, really enjoying it. But enough about my guitars. Why don't y'all tell me, what was your first guitar? And if it was like mine, it was just a toy, let me know that. But then let me know, what was your first guitar that you actually learned to play on, that you started your music journey with? Do you still have it? If not, do you regret getting rid of it, or are you happy it's gone? And also, leave me a note about what is your most recent guitar acquisition. Why did you get it? And what is it about your newest guitar that you really, really love? So I think this is a great question, and I really enjoy reading all the comments from you guys and ladies who answered our question last time about USA versus import guitars. I really enjoy seeing your perspective. As a business owner, it kind of helps me see where the guitar public is and where our YouTube channel viewers are at, what your opinions are, and what you think about guitar questions. So please, please leave us a comment below. Tell us your story about your first guitar and your most recent guitar. We'll see you soon. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it. Keep the music alive. Music needs you. And we need the music. And we need to keep the music alive for this next generation coming up buying their first guitar and starting their journey. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.